Hello friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have 3 great stories, and the first one about a rich guy who needs to be put in his place. A little different. I work at a hotel, and last week we had a particularly high and mighty guest staying with us, a 60-something-year-old man, rich, fat, who thought his butt was plated with gold, which we lower life forms, born into servitude, were just dying for the honor of kissing. Well, Sunday was a rare day. My husband and I both had the day off and wanted to spend it together doing something kind of special. We went into town for lunch at one of our favorite places. It's a little ma and pop cafe, famous for their quiche and owned by a sweet, plump, elderly lady that by now knows us by name. She sat us at our usual table, got us our drinks, and took our order. Then we sat back to relish in this quiet time, getting to just sit and relax together. Being young and broke, this doesn't happen very often. Then I notice a few tables down, the butt from my hotel. Mental anguish, and he was making a motion at me. From here on out, let's just call him the fat old butt, FOA. I thought he was awkwardly trying to say hello, so I waved and tried to focus back on the conversation I was having with my husband. Then I hear FOA speak up. "Hey, you're the girl from the hotel." He actually raised his voice to get this across the cafe. Wow. Still foolishly thinking this was his way of a hello, I nodded and smiled, what probably had to be the most pathetic pretend smile I've ever done, and waved again. Then this horrid human being raises his glass while maintaining eye contact with me and said, "Fetch me some water." I wish this was a joke. I'm pretty sure I sneered at him after that. I stared at him a little dumbfounded, looked around and replied, "I don't work here." "Yeah, but you're from my hotel, where I'm staying. I'm the guy with the comp rooms." Repressing the urge to throw a salt shaker at this MFer, "Yeah, that means I do not work here." "But your job is hospitality to your guests, right? Well, I need a refill." I officially lost my very last microscopic F and conceded to take any heat I may get later. "Well, that's just too bad. You should tell your waiter." "But I'm telling you." "Sorry, dude, that's not my job." Getting a delightful shade of red in the face, "Can you just give me some more water?" Again, my answer's no. I don't work here. I'm not your servant. I'm here with my husband on my day off. Talk to one of the waitstaff. He cleared his throat and got a very big boy, deep, angry voice going now. That type of voice a father gets as he says, "Young lady, I guess I'll just have to have a conversation with," boss's name, "about your attitude." At which I could not suppress a laugh. Be my guest. He sputters a little. His buddy sitting with him is turned around in his chair, giving me a "WTF is wrong with you" face. "This is unacceptable. I'll make sure you lose your job at the hotel. I'll make sure you'll never get a job again. I'll sue you for everything you've got." This situation is just all too humorous now. I shrug, reciting exactly what I say to all those medical debt collectors. "Look, man, I'm 23 years old, walking every day to a minimum wage job. Go ahead and try. You can't get water out of a dried up creek." Now my husband pitches in as he can see FOA start to get out of his chair. "Hey man, you need to calm down." Now waitress had witnessed the last part of the exchange and grabbed the owner. The little old woman came hobbling out of the kitchen and pulled off her, dear lord so cute, oven mitts. "Is there a problem, sir?" "This girl has been nothing but rude and insulting to me and my companion during our otherwise pleasant lunch. I demand you ask them to leave your establishment or I will have to take legal action." I look up at her and shake my head, and she responded in the sweetest little old lady voice, "Well now, I have a hard time believing that. This couple comes into my restaurant very often and are always a joy to have." He huffed and puffed, his nose flaring, lips drawn so tight you probably could have strummed them. "Do you know who I am?" Then this petite, sweet-voiced woman said the most amazing thing ever. "I know you're on the way out of my cafe." He flapped his mouth a bit, talking about all the things he's going to do to put her out of business, to which she nodded sweetly and said, "Yes, of course, dear," as she ushered him out the door. Once they were gone, she came over and asked if we were okay. I let her in on the whole story of this guy, and she gave me a big hug, then free dessert. I worked the next morning and made sure to tell my boss what went down. My husband backed me up, and my boss kicked the guy and his entire group out of the hotel. Whoop, whoop. A little Karen revenge. This can probably be put under a few other subs, but I think it fits here best. Background. I used to be an hourly manager for Walmart, worked nights, had all the typical Walmart people incidents. The company underwent a lot of changes and promotion was looking grim, so I left on good terms with the store manager. I still live close to my old store and needed to grab a few things before taking my family to dinner. It was Father's Day, so I had on khakis and a blue button-up. I happened to bump into my former store manager and we caught up for a bit. We'd been talking close to the registers, and as we parted, Karen came screeching at me. I looked at my former boss and he grinned and nodded. We'll call him SM. Me, Karen, and SC for security. Karen, your cashier has verbally assaulted me and has humiliated me in front of all these customers. Points at cashier. Side note, I know this cashier. I hired her. I trained her. She had also babysat for me on several occasions. I'm good friends with her family. Me. Slow down. Please start from the beginning. Karen. That little B word told me my money's no good here. She wouldn't run my card and called me trash. Me. Seeing that this is a scam for free stuff, well, please come with me and security can take a statement. I'm sure they can pull footage from the register while you fill it out. I begin heading towards the security office and she begins to follow, but at the mention of register footage, she stops cold and begins getting louder and irate. Karen. I want my items. I want them now. While she's screaming, I recognize the head of security walking our way. Me. I understand, ma'am. Please come with me and this will go quicker. Security stops to talk to SM and I gesture for Karen to follow. We make our way to the security office, SM and SC in tow. SC opens the door and lets Karen in. Inside, the footage is already on the screen and SM moves past me into the room. SM. Ma'am, we're going to have to detain you till the police arrive. Karen. I will not wait. I want my things now. Now who are you? SM. I'm the store manager. And apart from you yelling at this customer, gesturing to me, and I grin at her, you have a stolen credit card on you and we will wait for the police. SM shuts the door and turns to me. SM. So, when are you coming back? I laugh and tell him, as much fun as that was, I'm not. I've had my fill of retail. My little revenge on Karen's. I never told her I worked there. I acted as a concerned customer. Turns out the card was stolen and flagged. She got upset over her stolen card getting declined. How I got fired from my brother's job where I never worked. A lovely little tale of how I went shopping and managed to get fired. Let's give you some context to help you out though. My brother and I are half Chinese, 3 years apart. I'm 5'11" and he's just under 6'2". We have different fathers, so it's always weird to hear, wow, you guys look the same, when we really don't. He has a fair few more pounds on me too. So I've got a day off and I'm going to meet my friends. I've got 20 minutes to kill and I'm mulling over whether or not I'm going to grab a new graphics card for my computer. My brother gets discounts, which I've never used, but I figured if there was something worthwhile, I would get it on his discount. So I go into the shop and I'm staring at the graphic cards, comparing one to the other. I stood there for a good 5 minutes before someone then comes up to me and just stares at me. What's up? I end up asking, tentatively, as it's obvious they want my attention. I notice she's got a name tag, and like me, she's wearing a plain black t-shirt. However, she doesn't have a problem with my t-shirt. Why are you wearing jeans? Obviously, I'm bewildered, but she just goes on. You know what the policy is here. So I can't help but laugh. I figure that she's having a laugh with me, and that's an interesting way to try and close a sale. Electronic shop with a dress code. Hilarious. This, however, isn't the desired response as the mood flips completely. She's shaking. Shaking with rage at the fact that I'm just giggling in her face like a girl. Get in the office right now! She tries to lead me by the arm like I'm a naughty schoolchild, and she was even more enraged by the fact that I withdrew my hand from her, disregarding my confused expression and comment of, "What the F?" She runs off. In under a minute, she's brought back a heavy-set bloke who looks pretty unhappy with the fact he's been brought out, unlike everyone else, who I notice is wearing a black t-shirt and black trousers. He's in casual clothes. He's the boss. He's now getting increasingly unhappy as she fills in the encounter with stories of my incompetence and of the recent struggle. So I cut in. I argue about how this is a misunderstanding, and I get told to zip it. That expression was genuinely used. I was then berated while I tried to cut in to explain the situation. I'm also now running out of time, so I then try to call my brother so he can get his butt here quickly and sort it all out. However, he then has the nerve to take my phone off me and then really lay into me about having my phone on the sales floor. He then tries to take me to the back office as we've got a crowd growing, but I shrug them off. I'm swearing, he's swearing, then it comes. I'm fired. You're not him? Bullcrap. He then grabs me and starts dragging me to the door, and I'm flailing around trying to stay on my feet, kicking boxes and shelves. Finally, we're at the door, to which I'm pushed out of. He's then standing there blocking the doorway, aghast with how I acted, stating how appalled he is. My phone starts ringing, and I see it's my brother. He had a dropped call from me. I answer immediately, tell him to run back to work. He's on his lunch break, 2 minutes away, and then I decided to take it further. I tell his boss, get effed. I swear, I make a scene. We're on the street and people are stopping to watch the theater unfold before them. He's calling the police. There's vile things said and gestured, and then my brother turns up. His look is golden, but what I'm enjoying much more is the look of his boss, the look of his supervisor. God, how I loved the look on her face while the manager was going on in heaves. She had such a smug look. So I pulled the race card, as well as a half Chinese guy can anyway, and apologies were so forthcoming and they suddenly weren't barring the door and they were trying to bring us both in. If this was in the US, we might have been able to make a bigger deal of it, but in a typical English town, not so much. But I went to listen to the apologies just to fob them off. On the upside, I did get a free GTX 770. Wouldn't give me anything better, but hey, wish I was able to put this more eloquently, but hey. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.